What was it like running a 2:46 marathon?
Oh man, it was exhilarating. It was freaking awesome.
That's fast.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the magic of marathons. That was a marathon year. A lot of my friends did marathons and leading up to that one, and it just felt magical. I love marathon training because it's such a science, but then also there's like that extra element of like magic at the end where you know exactly your pacing for this distance and you know exactly your pacing for this distance in this workout, and you can calculate your threshold pace, and like, you know, just above that you're burning too hot, just below that you're burning too hot, just above that you have some gas in the tank.
Yeah.
And you constantly fool yourself in some of these workouts when you're pushing yourself hard. And when I'm running with Bat City, I'm like, damn, I can't go any faster. And then you do. And then you're like, oh, wow, I'm a little bit faster. And then you add a taper to that where your body suddenly has all this time to recover. And you're like, holy shit, I'm superhuman. Like, you can do way faster than you thought. And it's right. It's that balance, the science of I know exactly I can do this. And oh shit, like it's race day, it's game time. And you throw down and see what you can do. And I was super excited to run that race. It was in Eugene. It was like 56 degrees, perfect running weather, perfect conditions, fast air, as my buddy Mike Zacco says. And my heart rate was 159 the entire race.
For a 2:46 marathon?
Yeah.
You could have ran faster.
No, I couldn't. But heart rate, like when I trained my heart rate, like max was 161. It was up there for like a few seconds. Then it stayed at 159.
That's crazy.
The whole race.
Was your watch broken or something?
No, that shit was on tight.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah. That's also, I mean, training in Austin, it was that was in April. So it was still like 70 or 80 degrees, but then dropping down there, I was like, wow, I feel fast.
Do you think you could have ran faster on that day?
No, I gave it everything that I could on that day. Such a great race. Highly recommend it. Eugene has a special magic to it.
Yeah.
It's a really cool ending in the track that all of the Olympics trials are held at. Not all of them, but most of them in the U.S.
Although World Championships are there too.
Yeah.
For track and field.
Yeah, it's a very famous track.
Yeah, dude, that's Eugene. That's where I qualified for Boston my first time.
Okay,
that's a sick race.
Yeah,
dude, I love that description of marathons. It's like, yeah, it's so true. I've never thought about it that way. That it's like part scientific and part magic, part unknown. Yeah, and it's like that element of the unknown that makes it so intriguing.
Nobody knows what their body's going to do at mile 20.
Yeah,
right. You can start shitting your brains out, pardon my friends, or you could start to feel amazing and be like, I'm on top of the world. Let's push the pace. And yeah, it's kind of the element you can't prepare for, and you got to just lean into it. And just like life, right? Like you don't know what's going to happen today or tomorrow or in a week, but how you respond to that is really what characterizes you as an athlete and you as a person.
That was beautifully said. That's great.
Flip it.
Dude, I'm curious, you're like, obviously you're dialed in on training.
Locked in, baby.
Fucking, what's his name? Davis Clark. Locked in.
Pull it up. I want to run my Boston Marathon like he ran his Boston Marathon.
That video is so good. Just shit. Dude, the way he says it, I just shit my pants. It's so good.
It's great.
You're locked in
Yeah.
on the physical side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's only one side of the story for endurance sports.
Mm-hmm.
What's your approach like the mental side of things? Do you have any mental tricks that you tell yourself, or like rituals or anything you do?
Ooh. During workouts?
During like a hard workout or on race day or race weekend, anything like that?
Know that your training prepared you for this. Know that whatever happens, no, hold on.
Dude, this is good. I like where that goes. That was where that was going.
Know that whatever happens is going to happen, and like you're going to get through it. And as I said before, like the adversity you face like is part of the journey. Like the obstacle is the path. I love that quote. Whether in life or in fitness, right? Like, oh, here's a great one. Something always goes wrong in every race. There's no perfect race. And in the same way that like you don't always like, you should go like the motivational things, like you go train in the rain because your race day is never perfect. It's like, what if it rains on race day? Yeah, like don't expect perfect conditions. Don't expect a perfect race because then you're thrown off by like a little thing here or there. Like in my Dallas race, I got a really bad cramp, and I'm like, okay, like it's just part of the race, keep moving. In my Houston race, I was feeling exhausted. I had just run a 30-mile race the weekend before, and I was like, oh, my legs are heavy. I can't make it through these lunges at the same speed I want to. It's like, there's no perfect race. Like, just get through it. And another great piece of advice would be just focus on where you are right now. And that's great in life too. Like, what is the next best step? I'm sitting at work looking at my Outlook, being like, okay, great, now what do I do? Or like, how do I respond to these emails or this meetings? Like, what is the next best step? Just do one thing and move on. And in the same approach with HYROX, if you focus on just the station you're at, don't think about what you have in 2 or 3 times, just where you're at right now, and you're set. Even wall balls, 100 wall balls, that's a lot to think about. Just think about 15, 15, 15, 10, 10, 10, 7, 7, 7 if you need. That's me at the end too. It will help you get through it. And then before you know it, you're at the end.
That's great. Yeah. I love that. I think, I guess to put a word on that would be like segmentation.
Yep.
I think it's like a Navy SEAL thing I've heard them talk about to get through like BUDS training and stuff is it's just segmenting. I learned that through like ultra marathons.
Yeah.
It's like you have to. It's too overwhelming.
Yeah.
If you don't chunk it up like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Do you have any like rituals that you do, like a pre-race ritual, like a prayer, meditation, or like you got to put your left shoe on first, or anything like that?
I like to practice gratitude a lot. I think that has so many benefits, no matter your religion, no matter your kind of beliefs. Like, practicing gratitude is proven scientifically to like help you perform better and like have a more positive mindset, which also goes hand in hand. Visualize success. That's a huge one. Olympic athletes are always visualizing themselves doing their best performance, getting the gold medal. And when you do that, it helps your body recruit the muscle fibers that it needs to, like perform the way it needs to go to that outcome and not to a bad one. If you're thinking about messing up or failing, you're probably going to mess up or fail. So mindset's huge. I take beet supplements beforehand, which helps dilate the blood vessels and gets your VO2 up. So I take like a beet juice. Yeah.
I love that.
I also, for HYROX specifically, I try to keep my heart rate as low as possible. People love to get themselves hyped up. The bros.
Yeah.
I know plenty of them. And I'll get like pumped up, amped up in the tunnel. I'm like, y'all, you can do that, but your heart rate's about to be at 179 for about an hour.
Yeah.
And plus. So maybe just cool it. Like, you're going to be there. Like, your first 1K run is a great warm up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like being amped is not going to make you run that much faster in your first 500 meters.
Yeah, that goes away real quickly.
Yeah.
That's dude, I love the visualization. Have you ever read Psycho-Cybernetics?
No.
By Dr. Maxwell Maltz?
No.
It's from like the 50s. It's a great book. Kind of one of the first like sort of more scientific based self-help, like self-improvement type books.
Okay.
But he talks about a lot of studies in there where they took like 2 groups of basketball players, and they had one group physically shoot free throws every day.
Yep.
And then they had one group just think about shooting free throws every day. And I'm pretty sure the group that just visualized shooting free throws performed like just as good as the people that physically shot them. It's like, and there's a million examples like that. There's a lot of studies they've done, but like our minds are so powerful, and it's so easy to psych ourselves out or use it for good and like visualize whatever it is you're trying to achieve.
Fully agree. And being kind to yourself, which sounds like a cheesy, soft, even liberal idea of some sorts. Like, oh yeah, your self-love and everything. Like, it actually is proven to help. And in the same vein, like the book Humankind is one of my favorites, and it talks a lot about kindness as something that helped Homo sapiens evolve, human sapiens. And they talked about similarly one group of kids that was like treated like honor students and perfect children and like praised, and one group of students that was just like dejected and kind of like treated lesser. And they were totally randomized, and the ones that were praised started getting better grades, or like significantly better, and performing better in sports and everything. So there's something to be said about like surrounding yourself with positive affirmations and positive friends and self-love. Of course, not disillusioning yourself. I think reality is very important to hold on to, but yeah,
that's
totally
good.
agree.